Some stories start with fireworks. Others start with a broken lease, a cheap suitcase, and a shirtless man holding a smoothie. Claire Mitchell wasn't looking for love. She wasn't even looking for trouble. Just a room to rent and a fresh start in a new city. Logan Hart, her new roommate, wasn't supposed to be more than a name on a lease. But the moment she saw him smirking barefoot and built like temptation, she knew keeping her distance wasn't going to be easy. They set rules. No flirting. No feelings. No sleeping together. And then came the cold showers, the shared couch naps, the accidental touches, and the kind of looks that make your stomach flip. This is a story about what happens when two people try to stay friends and fail gloriously. Welcome to Too Close for Comfort. Claire adjusted her grip on the suitcase handle as she stared up at the building. Industrial loft, high ceilings, exposed brick, exactly what she wanted. Well, almost. She had not exactly planned on having a male roommate, but the rent was cheap, and Logan Hart had sounded harmless enough over text. She knocked once. The door swung open before she could raise her hand again. Logan stood there, backlit by warm lighting, barefoot in low-slung gray sweatpants and absolutely no shirt. His abs were defined like they were carved from stone. A towel hung over his shoulder. His hair was still damp. Claire blinked. Twice? "You must be Claire," he said with a lazy grin. She forced herself to meet his eyes. "You must be allergic to shirts." He looked down like he had just noticed. "Oh, right. I clean up nice sometimes." She stepped in, trying not to stare too long. The loft was wide and open, with exposed beams and a big window overlooking the city. Clean enough. Cozy, even. "Your room is down that hall," he said, nodding toward a hallway. "Bathroom is across from it. If you like hot showers, we might need to schedule them. I am greedy with the water." She looked at him. "You mean to tell me I might run out of hot water and have to walk past you like this?" He leaned on the kitchen counter, smirking. "I can offer a towel escort, if that helps." Claire tried to laugh it off, but her cheeks burned. She rolled her suitcase toward the hall and turned back for one last glance. "Thanks for letting me move in," she said. He gave a slow smile. "Anytime, Claire. Make yourself at home. And, fair warning, I am a sleepwalker. So if you ever see me in your doorway, just throw a pillow at me." "You are joking." He winked, "Only kind of." She shut the door behind her and leaned against it, exhaling hard. Living here might be a bigger problem than she thought. Not because the rent was low, not because the closet was tiny, but because Logan Hart walked around like a fantasy, flirted like it was a sport, and now they shared a wall. Claire padded into the kitchen, wearing an oversized sweatshirt and fuzzy socks. Her suitcase was still unpacked. Her hair was tied up. She did not care. She just needed caffeine. Logan was already there. He was crouched in front of the fridge, shirtless again, wearing dark joggers and humming to himself. She froze. "Morning, roommate," he said without looking back. "It is 9 p.m., she replied. He stood and turned around. His smile was lazy, warm. "Technically, it is morning somewhere." Claire moved toward the coffee maker. "Do you ever wear a shirt?" "Do you ever stop looking?" he asked with a grin. Her eyes narrowed. "You are a menace." Logan shrugged. "I have been called worse." "Want a grilled cheese?" She paused. "You cook." He raised a brow. "You do not." "Fair point." Claire sat on a stool by the counter as he moved around the kitchen. His back muscles flexed when he reached for the pan. Everything he did looked effortless, annoyingly hot. She tried not to notice. She failed. He slid a plate toward her a few minutes later. "One perfect sandwich." "Careful," he said. "It is hot." She took a bite and groaned softly. "Oh wow, this is actually amazing." Logan smirked. "I aim to impress." Claire licked cheese from her thumb. Logan watched the motion a second too long. Their eyes met. She cleared her throat. "So, you are a trainer." "Fitness coach," he said. "Online stuff, videos, Meal plans, shirtless branding, you know. What about you? Freelance graphic design, mostly boring. Lots of late nights, lots of coffee. Good. I love late night company. Do not get used to it, she said, standing with her plate. I am not a night owl. He followed her with his eyes as she moved toward the sink. You sure about that? You have got the energy of someone who stays up thinking too much. She paused. You say that like it is a bad thing. Not bad, just intense. I like intense. She rinsed her plate in silence. Then, without looking back, she said, he did not move. Good night, Claire. Back in her room, she shut the door and leaned against it again. This time, her breath came slower. One day in, and her new roommate already felt too close, too charming, too much, too close for comfort. Claire stepped out of the bathroom with her towel wrapped tight and her wet hair clinging to her shoulders. The hot water had helped, a little. She felt human again, calm. Then she saw him. Logan stood in the kitchen with his back to her, shirtless again, sipping coffee and scrolling on his phone. The morning sun lit up the muscles on his shoulders. She took one step forward, hoping to reach her room without making a sound. He turned, their eyes met. Good morning, he said, voice rough and low. Claire clutched her towel tighter. Morning. I thought you would still be asleep. I was. Until someone used all the hot water, he said, grinning. She scowled. I was quick. Logan tilted his head. Are we pretending you are not standing there in nothing but a towel? We are, she said quickly. Because if we are not, I am going to say something that will get me in trouble, he added. She walked faster, but her heel caught the edge of the rug. Her foot slipped, she stumbled, and in the struggle to balance herself, the towel loosened. She grabbed it just in time, holding it against her chest as her face went red. Logan stepped forward but stopped himself. You good? Perfect, she said, teeth clenched. He looked like he was fighting a smile. Want me to close my eyes next time? How about you stay in your room in the morning? Then I would miss the highlight of my day. She marched past him and slammed the door behind her. Inside, she dropped the towel and groaned. Her skin was still warm from the water, but now it was burning from embarrassment. On the other side of the door, Logan leaned against the wall and exhaled slowly. Too close, he whispered to himself. Too close for comfort. Rain hit the windows hard. Thunder rolled in the distance. Claire sat on the couch in leggings and a hoodie, blanket draped over her legs, trying to focus on the movie. She barely noticed the screen. Logan walked out of his room, shirtless again, this time in black pajama pants. He dropped onto the other end of the couch with a lazy stretch. You always dress like it is summer, she asked, without looking at him. He smirked. You always dress like it is January. It is cold. Want me to warm you up? He asked. She rolled her eyes. I will keep the blanket, thanks. Half that blanket is on my side, he said. Fair game. Claire tugged the edge closer to her. He tugged back. The blanket shifted, leaving a space between them that quickly vanished. Now they were shoulder to shoulder, blanket over both laps. Movie forgotten. What are we watching? He asked. Something forgettable, she said. You are distracting. That is not my fault. You are easily distracted. Claire turned to him. Logan. All this, it is getting complicated. He looked at her, amused. We are just roommates, with very different definitions of personal space. She shook her head. We need boundaries. Okay, set them. I will try not to cross them. Not promising anything, she sighed. This is exactly what I meant. Logan leaned a little closer. Come on, you cannot deny this is fun. The thunder cracked louder. The lights flickered. Claire flinched. Logan smiled. Scared of storms. Only when I am sharing a blanket with someone who looks like you, she said before she could stop herself. He turned to her fully now. That sounded a lot like a compliment. That sounded like you should move over. He did not. Instead, he said, I can move, but it is warmer like this, and you are not really pulling away. She looked down at their legs. Close, not touching, not yet. The thunder rumbled again. Claire leaned her head back on the couch and closed her eyes. I am not pulling away because I am tired. That is all. Sure, he said. I believe you. They sat there, close, silent, the only sound the rain tapping against the windows. Too close, too warm, too tempting, too close for comfort. Claire stepped out of her room the next morning wearing a fitted tank top and soft cotton shorts. She had not meant to look like that. It was just laundry day, and it was hot. Logan was already in the kitchen, coffee mug in hand, no shirt. She crossed the small space between them, brushing past his bare shoulder to reach the cabinet. His arm tensed slightly as she did. Morning, she said. Morning, he replied. You always walk around dressed for trouble. It is laundry day. He looked her over once, slowly, then took a sip of coffee. Lucky laundry. Claire ignored him and reached for the mugs. Logan did not move. The kitchen was small, the space between them smaller. She reached around him to grab the sugar. Her arm grazed his. He inhaled sharply. She glanced up at him. What? You do that on purpose, he said. Do what? Touch me like that. Pretend you do not notice. You are the one without a shirt. Again, because it is hot. Exactly, she said. Now move. He did. Barely just enough to let her slide by, but not enough to avoid the brush of skin on skin. She grabbed her coffee and walked to the living room. He followed. You know we could solve this, he said. Solve what? The tension. You feel it. I feel it. Why keep pretending? Because we are roommates, she said. And I like this apartment. So do I, he said. And I like you in it. Claire stared at him. I mean it, he said. I like having you here, even when you steal the last of the coffee. Even when I wear tank tops, she asked. Especially then. She sipped her coffee, heart beating a little too fast. You said you would respect boundaries. I am trying, he said. I swear. But you walk around in that, and it is like asking me to fail. Claire gave a half smile. Then maybe you need stronger self-control. Or maybe you need looser rules. They stood in silence, neither moved. The coffee between them cooled slowly. Too much heat, too little space, too close for comfort. Claire stepped out of her room the next morning wearing a fitted tank top and soft cotton shorts. She had not meant to look like that. It was just laundry day. And it was hot. Logan was already in the kitchen, coffee mug in hand, no shirt. She crossed the small space between them, brushing past his bare shoulder to reach the cabinet. His arm tensed slightly as she did. Morning, she said. Morning, he replied. You always walk around dressed for trouble. It is laundry day. He looked her over once, slowly, then took a sip of coffee. Lucky laundry. Claire ignored him and reached for the mugs. Logan did not move. The kitchen was small, the space between them smaller. She reached around him to grab the sugar. Her arm grazed his. He inhaled sharply. She glanced up at him. What? You do that on purpose, he said. Do what? Touch me like that. Pretend you do not notice. You are the one without a shirt because it is hot. Exactly, she said. Now move. He did. Barely. Just enough to let her slide by, but not enough to avoid the brush of skin on skin. She grabbed her coffee and walked to the living room. He followed. You know we could solve this, he said. Solve what? The tension? You feel it. I feel it. Why keep pretending? Because we are roommates, she said. And I like this apartment. So do I, he said. And I like you in it. Claire stared at him. I mean it, he said. I like having you here. Even when you steal the last of the coffee. Even when I wear tank tops, she asked. Especially then. She sipped her coffee, heart beating a little too fast. You said you would respect boundaries. I am trying, he said. I swear. But you walk around in that, and it is like asking me to fail. Claire gave a half smile. Then maybe you need stronger self-control. Or maybe you need looser rules, he said, stepping back. They stood in silence. Neither moved. The coffee between them cooled slowly. Too much heat. Too little space. Too close for comfort. The power went out just after midnight. A loud pop, then everything went dark. Claire blinked into the shadows, heart racing. She reached for her phone. 10% battery. Logan? She called out. Did you lose power too? Yep, he said from somewhere down the hall. You good? Mostly, just not a fan of the dark. Footsteps padded toward her. Then the warm glow of a flashlight lit the space. Logan stood in front of her, holding the beam low. You okay? He asked. I am fine, just not used to total silence. He held the light up. Want company until it comes back? Claire hesitated, then nodded. They sat on the couch. The flashlight pointed at the ceiling. It cast soft shadows over the room. Logan leaned back, legs stretched, his arm brushing against hers. You smell like shampoo, he said. That is what happens when people shower. I mean it in a good way. She shifted slightly, but his arm stayed close. Her skin tingled where they touched. She tried to focus on the quiet hum of the city outside. Logan tilted his head toward her. Remember when you said we needed rules? Yes. What if the rules were the problem? Claire looked at him. His face was half-lit, eyes serious. What are you saying? I am saying maybe this thing between us is not going away. And maybe we stop pretending it is not real. She exhaled. You think this is smart? No. I think it is honest. Before she could respond, the flashlight flickered. The bulb dimmed, then went out completely. Logan cursed softly. Claire laughed. We wait. You want a blanket? I will get cold without it. I can keep you warm, he said. She said nothing, just sat back against the cushions. A few minutes passed. Then his arm moved behind her, casual, close, steady. She let her head fall against his shoulder. Logan shifted just enough to rest his cheek against the top of her head. Neither of them spoke. When Claire woke up, the power was still out, but the sun was starting to rise, and Logan was still there. So was his arm wrapped around her. And so was the feeling in her chest, low and warm and dangerous. Too close, too good, too close for comfort. Claire opened her eyes slowly. The room was brighter now. The power had come back, but Logan had not moved. His arm was still around her. His breathing was steady. For a second, she stayed still, warm, quiet, content. Then his eyes opened. Morning, he said, voice rough. She sat up fast. We fell asleep. We did, he said. No regrets on my end. She stood and grabbed a throw pillow to hold against her chest. This was a bad idea. Nothing happened, he said. Exactly. And it is still a bad idea. Logan sat up, rubbing the back of his neck. You keep calling this a bad idea, but it keeps feeling like the opposite. She turned away. I just need coffee. Before she could walk to the kitchen, there was a knock at the door. Logan frowned. You expecting someone? No. He opened it. A tall brunette stood on the other side, holding a gym bag and wearing a bright smile. Hey you, she said. Thought I would surprise you. Claire froze. The woman stepped inside and gave Logan a quick hug. I was in the neighborhood. Figured I would drop by. Logan stepped back, awkward. Claire, this is Haley. Haley Claire, my roommate. Claire gave a small nod. Haley looked her over with quick interest. Roommate, huh? Haley said. Cute setup. Claire glanced at Logan. She could read the hesitation in his posture, the way he scratched the back of his neck. He had not expected her either. I will be in my room, Claire said, walking away without waiting for a response. Logan caught up with her as she reached the hallway. Claire, wait. I did not know she was coming. You do not owe me an explanation, she said, without turning. I think I do. Why? We are just roommates. You know we are not. She finally looked at him. Then prove it. He stared at her. Haley is not a thing. Not anymore, I swear. Claire crossed her arms. Then why is she here? I do not know, but I want her gone. Because I cannot focus when you are mad at me. And I cannot stand not knowing what you are thinking. I am thinking we need space, Claire said. Then why do I feel like you are pulling away from something we both want? She shook her head and went into her room, closing the door softly. Inside, her heart pounded. Not because of Haley, because she was falling. And she did not know how to stop. Too close, too messy, too close for comfort. Logan waited until Haley left before knocking on Claire's door. He knocked once, then again. No answer. Claire, he said. Can we talk? Still nothing. He leaned against the door and sighed. I get it, you need space, but I do not want this to turn into silence. Not with you. The door opened slowly. Claire stood there in a hoodie and shorts, arms crossed. Say what you need to say, she said. Logan stepped inside. The room smelled like her, soft and clean. I like you, he said. That is not enough, Claire replied. I know, I want more. I want all of it. I want to wake up next to you on purpose, not because the power went out, not because the couch was warm, because you are the first thing I want to see every morning. Claire's eyes flicked up. You done? He nodded. Good, she said. Because I have something to say too. She stepped closer. Logan stilled. I like you too, she said. But I do not trust easily. I do not open up without thinking twice. And I cannot fall for someone who still leaves doors open for old flames. Logan's jaw tightened. I am not. Then close it, she said. Show me. He stepped forward, inches away. I do not want anyone else, not even a little. She looked up at him. Then do something about it. He leaned in. She tilted her head. But at the last second, Claire stepped back. Not here, she said. Not like this. Logan exhaled, frustrated, but nodded. Then when tonight, she said. Dinner, just us. No mixed signals. No distractions. So, a date. She nodded. An actual date. He smiled. I can do that. Claire let him leave, then closed the door behind him. Her chest was tight, but in the best way. She was not playing games. Not anymore. If Logan wanted her, he had to prove it. And tonight, she would find out if this thing between them was real, or if it was just tension and timing. Too close, too important, too close for comfort. Logan knocked on Claire's door right at 7. He wore a button-down, sleeves rolled, hair just messy enough to look perfect. He held a paper bag with takeout and a bottle of wine. Claire opened the door in a soft black dress. Simple, effortless. Her hair was down. Wow, Logan said. You look unreal. You clean up pretty well yourself, she said, stepping aside. They sat on the balcony, city lights glowing behind them. The food was warm, the wine poured easy. For a while, they just ate and talked. No flirting. No games. Just real words. Claire leaned back, watching the lights. You know, I was ready to move out after the first week. Why? He asked. Because you were too much. Too charming. Too distracting. You made everything feel unstable. Logan nodded slowly. You made everything feel like home, which scared the hell out of me. She looked at him. He kept going. I was used to being on my own. Used to people wanting the surface stuff, looks, followers, but you saw past it. Claire stayed quiet. You were the first person who made me want to slow down, he said. To stop pretending I had it all together. She studied him, her voice softer now. So what are we, Logan? He reached across the table. I want us to be real. No more rules. No more what-ifs. Claire's fingers curled around his. Her heart beat faster. Then show me, she said. He stood, moved around the table, and pulled her up gently. Her body fit against his like it had been waiting for this. He brushed her hair behind her ear, eyes locked on hers. Then, slowly, he leaned in. Their lips met. Soft at first, then deeper, warmer, like something built and burning between them had finally been released. When they pulled apart, they both stayed close, breathing heavy, smiling. That was overdue, she whispered. So overdue, he said. They stayed out there for a while, wrapped in each other. No words needed. For the first time since she moved in, Claire was not thinking about boundaries or escape plans. She was thinking about mornings like this, nights like this, and maybe, just maybe, what came next. Too close was no longer the problem. Letting go would be. The next morning, Claire woke up to the smell of coffee and the sound of Logan humming in the kitchen. She wrapped a blanket around her shoulders and padded out to see him at the stove, barefoot, shirtless, smiling. "You cook when you are happy," she said. He turned. "I am always happy when you are in my bed." Claire laughed. That was smooth. He poured her a cup and kissed her cheek. "I have my moments." They sat on the couch, plates in their laps, warm silence between them. Then his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and his expression changed. "What is it?" He hesitated. "That agency I used to work with. They want me to go to New York. Big campaign. Fitness deal. 3 months. Claire blinked. 3 months. She set her plate down. "And you are considering it?" "I do not know," he said. "I was not expecting it. You always said you wanted bigger things." "I did, but now things feel different." Claire stood, arms crossed. "So what are you saying? You are staying for me?" "I am saying I finally have something real here," Logan said. "Something I do not want to lose." She looked at him, heart pounding. "You do not have to stay, but you cannot say all the right things one night, then leave the next." "I am not leaving," he said. "Not unless you tell me there is nothing here worth staying for." Claire walked to the window, rain starting to tap against the glass. She hated ultimatums, but what scared her more was how much she cared, how much she did not want him to go. She turned around slowly. "I do not want to hold you back. You are not. You are the first thing that makes me want to stay." She stared at him, then nodded. "Okay, stay, but not for me. Stay because you want to, not because you are afraid to leave." Logan stepped closer. "I want you. I want this. And if I have to turn down a job to prove that." Claire shook her head. "No. Take the job, but ask them to wait. A few weeks. If they really want you, they will." He smiled. "You are smart, you know that. And you are lucky I am feeling generous." He pulled her close. "I would give it all up for one more night like last night." "Then stop talking and kiss me," she whispered. He did. Outside, the rain kept falling. Inside, everything else was just starting to come together. Too close, too real, too close for comfort. 2 weeks passed. Fast, quiet, warm. Claire and Logan fell into something that felt real. Morning coffee, shared dinners, soft touches, long looks. It was easy. Dangerous, but easy. Then came the call. Logan stepped out onto the balcony to take it. Claire stayed on the couch. When he came back, his face gave nothing away. "Well?" she asked. "They want me," he said, "but they want an answer now." She looked up at him. "So, what did you say?" "I told them I had to ask someone first." Claire blinked. Logan nodded. "Because I want to take this chance. But I want you with me, New York. Just for a few months," he said. "You can work from anywhere. You said so yourself." Claire stood. "This is a lot." "I know," he said. "But I also know I do not want to lose this." She walked past him and stared out the window. The city lights flickered below. Her heart felt like it was racing and floating all at once. "When I moved in," she said, "I just wanted peace. And now I want chaos. I want mornings with burnt toast. Nights on the couch. I want you, Logan. But I am scared." He came behind her, close, not touching, just there. "So am I," he said. She turned slowly, looked up at him. "Then let's be scared together," she whispered. He smiled. "You are coming." She nodded. "But only if you promise something. Anything. We stay close, no matter how messy, no matter how loud, no matter how hard it gets. Logan leaned down, their foreheads touching. To close, he whispered. Claire smiled. Just right. He kissed her then. Slow, deep, final in all the right ways. They packed that night. Same story. Roommates, once, now something more. Something chosen. Too close was never the problem. It was the answer. Too close for comfort. And exactly where they both wanted to be. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want more romance like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode.